The McLaren 720S takes on the Ferrari 488, with more power, greater performance and a dash of practicality. 4. Incredible performance, engaging ride and handling, luxurious feel. Against, engine doesn't sound as good as a Ferrari, limited luggage space, high running costs. The McLaren 720S is spectacular to look at and stunning to drive, with performance potential that's not far removed from the firm's P1 hypercar. The 720S definitely offers more visual drama than the 650S provided, and takes McLaren Automotive forward in leaps and bounds in other areas too. The expensive, bespoke feel of the interior is much improved, and the infotainment is improved. Phenomenal performance is a given, but the superlative ride quality and relaxing nature of the car when cruising, plus a dash of genuine practicality, mean it has daily driver credentials too. Our choice: McLaren 720S. The new core model in McLaren Super Series is known as the 720S, those numbers, 720 PS or 710 bhp, a reference to the enormous power output of its mid-mounted 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8. This virtually all-new successor to the McLaren 650S is brutally fast by any measure, and reportedly barely slower than the iconic McLaren P1 around a twisty circuit. Rivals for the McLaren 720S include the Ferrari 488 GTB and Lamborghini Aventador, although cars at this level become playthings from the buyer's point of view. Best supercars on sale right now. In fact, the McLaren 720S is the only current model in the Super Series, and although there's a Spider version coming, it's some way off. It sits above a 4-car Sports Series lineup comprising the 570S, 570 GT and 570 Spider, as well as the 540C entry model. Aside from the obvious styling changes, other significant updates for the 720s over its predecessor include bigger openings for the dihedral doors for easier access, and a new cabin design with upgraded TFT dash and new infotainment system. Engines, performance and drive. The McLaren Super Series designation means this is a car designed to offer enthusiastic drivers an extreme level of road car performance, and as such its ride is more taut than models in the Sports Series. Still, the superlative setup of the firm's actively interconnected hydraulic damping system means that in normal mode the car soaks up bumps with more finesse than many mere GT cars. Engines. And to some extent you are, but you've barely time to recognize the fact before boost builds and you're on a rocket ship ride that races you to 62 miles per hour in a shocking 2.8 seconds. Of course it's only when you come to rest that the turbos wind down, so there's no sense that lag could ever impede progress across country. The engine note isn't as characterful as some rivals, but it's pleasingly quiet when cruising. When you're trying a bit harder, the V8 roars with an engaging accompaniment of chatters and whooshes from the turbochargers. It's no Lamborghini V12, but many drivers might prefer its quieter nature. MPG, CO2 and running costs. However, there are plenty of folk around who'll see the cost as simply par for the course, and to be fair the McLaren is not likely to hit you harder in the wallet than its key rivals. Annual road tax will cost $450 per year, but the really high costs are going to center on servicing, replacement of consumables like tires and brakes, and of course the cost of any unscheduled maintenance that's not covered by the warranty. Insurance groups. Insurance for the McLaren 720S isn't going to come cheap either, as the car falls into the top 50 group rating. Depreciation. The new body, now made of aluminium and carbon fiber, features an unmistakable new teardrop-shaped cabin profile, with slender rear pillars made possible by the rigid monocage 2 structure. The new car's nose is swoopier, with the LED driving lights now a straight line instead of the 650S's McLaren swoosh, and the old car's side air intakes have disappeared too. Speaking of the doors, they've been modified too, with cutouts in the roof allowing you to step over the sill and down into the car, rather than having to duck under the roof panel. Sat-nav, stereo and infotainment. When McLaren Automotive launched its road car line, the firm's in-house Iris infotainment system looked novel, but was awkward, and practical and underdeveloped. You wouldn't say the same of the latest system in the 720S, which has been developed with help from an outside third party. You still get a big portrait-orientated central touchscreen, but it's now pleasant to use and decently intuitive. It's still some way off being as slick as a mass-produced rival system like BMW's iDrive. As well as sat-nav, phone connectivity and a high-quality audio system, you also get to play with a track telemetry system that lets you download your data. Practicality, comfort and boot space. Supercar drivers used to claustrophobic rear cabin pillars, or confining bulkheads, will look around the airy cabin of the McLaren and the exterior views afforded to the sides and rear of the car with some amazement. And while the boot spaces, front and rear, are relatively limited, there's a big parcel shelf behind the seats that you can use to strap down extra luggage. The McLaren 720S is the supercar of choice if you're looking for a daily driver. Supercar drivers used to claustrophobic rear cabin pillars, or confining bulkheads, will look around the airy cabin of the McLaren and the exterior views afforded to the sides and rear of the car with some amazement. Size. The McLaren 720S is pretty compact by supercar standards, measuring 4,543 mm nose to tail, which is barely longer than a Porsche 911. It's noticeably wider than the Porsche at 1,930 mm, but the McLaren takes up less space on the road than a Ferrari 488 GTB. Legroom, headroom and passenger space. The McLaren two-seater provides comfortable interior space for all but the tallest occupants, who will find the accommodation acceptable but not exceptional. Everyone else should find their perfect driving position with ease, thanks partly to the wide range of adjustment of the steering wheel. When it comes to seat choices, make sure you try before you buy. The sports seats have fixed backrests, which are rather upright, and while they grip you tightly, you'll be able to jump in and out more easily with the standard items. Boot. The McLaren has two boot areas. The one at the front will swallow 150 liters of luggage, and another at the back that will take a total of 210 liters. Pack wisely with soft bags, and it's surprising how much you can cram in. Don't expect to be able to carry anything bulky, though. Reliability and safety. When it comes to safety, the incredible performance, handling and braking capacity of the McLaren 720S mean it's easy to avoid trouble. It's too early to talk about official reliability, but our experience with McLaren's hit-and-miss infotainment system and dodgy electrics are worth considering. Warranty. There's a standard 3-year, unlimited mileage warranty across the entire McLaren lineup. You can extend cover to cars up to 12 years old too. Servicing. The 720S requires a service annually or every 9,000 miles, which includes a software update.